many of us come to a place like this, to a church, to look for Jesus and to find ways to connect with him in faith. And don't get me wrong, I'm not going to tell you you shouldn't go to church. You definitely should. You will always find a way to connect with him and his love here. But today's scripture challenges us to look for Jesus beyond the walls of a church building. Now, you probably know this, but a church is not a building anyway, right? A church is a people. So Mary didn't see Jesus at first because she was looking for someone who looked like her beloved and respected friend and teacher, not like someone who looked poor, like a manual laborer, not like a cemetery gardener. And yet, as soon as he said her name, she knew him. Just like Scripture says, Jesus is our good shepherd, and his sheep know his voice. Perhaps we too should be looking for Jesus among the living in unexpected places and people, listening for the sound of our good shepherd. As I thought about where we should look for Jesus in our lives today and what that might actually look like, what he might actually look like, I turned again to Scripture for guidance. In today's reading from the Gospel of John, we heard Jesus say that he wasn't sticking around for very much longer, that he would soon be ascending to his Father and our Father, that he was going to be with God. So if he isn't physically here on earth, how are we supposed to find him? Well, Scripture also says, Jesus said, "Where two or more are gathered in my name, there I am with them." And he also said, "Whatever you do for the least of these, my brothers and sisters, you do for me." So it reminds me of something that we often hear when a loved one passes away, that we can still find them in those who loved them, in the familiar twinkle of an eye in their children's eyes, in the passion their spouse has for a shared hobby, and their best friend's laughter. Friends, the same is true for us who look for Jesus today. We find him in the love that we share with one another. As we remember that before the Last Supper, Jesus took on the role of a common servant and washed his disciples' feet, telling them to love one another as he has loved them. For by this, everyone will know who his disciples are. Friends, that means that through us, others can come to know and experience, can come to see for themselves the transformative power of Jesus' love for themselves.